You're steering for the best price in town.
Visit budgetbreaks.com. Brakes starting at just $100. Alignment starting at $59.99.
Well, hey, it is that time of year again.
It is, huh?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go out there and make sure the refrigerator charge is charging correctly, and I gotta calibrate the thermostat. It's probably gonna take a while.
Okie dokie.
You dropped this.
Busted. I was supervising.
Why don't you supervise the lawnmower? The grass isn't going to cut itself.
We're making your summer simple by offering a free service call with any repair.
If you are watching this morning and you or someone you know is struggling with a dementia diagnosis, perhaps it's a new one and you have an awful lot of questions surrounding it, one, you are not alone, and two, you are in great luck this morning because Amy French is here with the Alzheimer's Association. Carol Fincher is here. Y'all are giving me a tongue twister this morning with Redstone Estates because they are teaming up, and on June 26th, you're doing a lunch and learn at Redstone.
Yes.
And I think that the name of you're calling it is Great News about Alzheimer's, which might be surprising news to a lot of people.
I think it probably is. It's been a long time since we've been able to say there is great news about Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia.
Right.
The great news is we now have an FDA approved actual treatment to treat the causes of dementia, and that's a new thing.
Okay, a lot of people have probably heard about this. I've had some conversations in my personal life about it recently, and so tell me, play true or false. This new FDA approved drug is only useful if you have an Alzheimer's diagnosis.
That is correct.
Okay, are all Alzheimer's diagnoses the same?
No, well, all Alzheimer's diagnoses are the same, but not all Alzheimer's is dementia. So not all dementia is caused by Alzheimer's disease. Dementia describes a set of symptoms. It's like an umbrella term, like the term automobile. So when I say automobile, you think of certain characteristics that all automobiles have. They're all in a big category. But if I say Chevrolet, you think of something a little bit different. Still an automobile, but different characteristics.
Got it.
Than Ford, Mercedes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So dementia is that umbrella term like automobile. Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, like a Chevy is a form of an automobile. Alzheimer's is the most commonly diagnosed dementia at this point in time. We know more about Alzheimer's type dementia than any other because there's been more research devoted to it because it is the number one cause of dementia.
Right.
So that being said, the hallmark symptoms of all dementia are inability to process information, make sense of the world around you that's significant enough to interfere with normal day-to-day life, and memory loss or memory impairment that's significant enough to interfere with normal day-to-day life.
Okay. Colloquially,
Yes.
Before Alzheimer's was such a household name, many people would call it old-timers. That's what they thought you were saying, old-timers.
It's true.
And I say that because the diagnosis for Alzheimer's is not always coming at an old age.
That's true.
Is that right?
That's true. More and more, we're going to see people diagnosed at an earlier age. Now, there's more than one kind of Alzheimer's disease. So under that umbrella term of Alzheimer's disease, you've got the umbrella of dementia, you've got Alzheimer's. Under that, you've got other forms of Alzheimer's.
So back to that medication, it won't treat all forms.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the medications that are available, they're infusion medications, so they require an infusion, an IV administration, and they're only proved to be effective in people who have very early stages of Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
In the later and middle stages, this medication is not recommended.
Okay.
So the big, huge emphasis right now in research, in public health, in everything to do with Alzheimer's disease is early detection, early diagnosis, early intervention.
Okay. Carol, I promise I'll let you talk, but can I ask a quick question?
It's all good.
So something I think I understand is that there are these stages of all forms of dementia, but we'll keep with Alzheimer's for a second.
Okay.
So you've got stage 1, which is that early stage. Then you have stage 2, and it can be quite lengthy
Yes.
for some people. So if you had the early intervention, you begin these infusions, they're good for you. Does that deter stage 2?
It does.
It doesn't prevent it, but it just
Correct.
postpones
Correct.
it. Okay.
So, not to get too sciencey, but Alzheimer's is caused by certain proteins that attack the brain rather than help the brain. One of them is called beta amyloid. And the medications, the infusion medications for early stage Alzheimer's, deter the development of the beta amyloid plaques. And the beta amyloid plaques are what cause the memory loss and the confusion.
Okay. So now's Carol's turn to join the conversation because at Redstone, you see how they're giggling? It's going to be like that when you go to this
It
lunch
will
and
be.
learn.
It's true.
Because it's intended to foster conversation. You're supposed to come to ask questions if you have them. If you want to sit back and just take notes, that's fine.
Right.
But Carol loves what she does at Redstone Estates. It's independent living,
Yeah.
but you see people live quite healthily to 100 plus there.
Yes, we do.
But when things begin to shift in their lives, you become a resource too to
Right.
guide them. So you see this happen.
Right. We do. A lot of times, immediately, if people will come and say they want to live independently with us, usually just because of the things Amy was saying, I can usually tell right away if something's,
Not quite right.
not quite right. And we don't want, someone, we really don't want to place someone with us that it's not an appropriate placement, it's not a safe placement for them. So we might go ahead and refer immediately. But a lot of times we have people who come in, and they're just as healthy and, maybe have a little bit of memory loss, but then over a year or two we begin to see a bit of a decline, and
Right.
then sometimes, it is alarming when we see it start to progress rapidly. It goes along for a while and then it just seems to pick up speed.
Right.
So we're really excited to hear about the new research and the new opportunities, and hopefully we can be a resource to tell people as we see them in those early stages, that very first stage,
Right.
like Amy said, with the medicine, that we can refer them to talk with Amy a bit.
Yeah, because you'll see when you go, and this is open to if you're 86 watching, if you're 46 watching.
Exactly.
It's relevant.
It's relevant.
Everyone.
You might be in the medical field and you might want to go
Right.
and be a part of this. But if, I think too, this is accurate, I'll have to keep it short, but engaging, conversation, keeping your mind stimulated is also good practice to deter this.
100%. What we emphasize not only is the availability of treatments in the early stage, but we talk about lifestyle changes, lifestyle interventions that we can do now, even if we never have a diagnosis, that will reduce our risk factors. And one of those things is, especially as we age, staying socially stimulated, having our basic needs met. And places like Redstone are a perfect opportunity to do that for individuals.
I don't want to speak for you because you may have thrown too many parties and you might be tired. But when people come to this on June 26th, are you going to feed them?
Oh, absolutely.
I knew it! I knew it. She loves her food.
We are well known for delicious food, and
So-
yeah, lunch. It's there's no charge for it.
Okay.
We just need an RSVP to know you're coming, so we have enough food to feed you.
Then here's where you go. It's the Lunch and Learn, June 26th. Great news in Alzheimer's and brain health in general. Amy will talk about all of it. Get your questions 11:30 on June 26th. Just go to Eventbrite. You can also call them at Redstone Estates, I betcha, if you can't find it online.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Chattanooga's best-kept furniture secret is out of the bag. Everyday living in Moore and Ringgold is the place to go for that stylish farmhouse chic look that's so popular today. Bedroom suites, living and dining rooms, and stylish decor pieces and lighting, all sold for less than the big box stores. We even carry mattress box spring sets